and welcome to another flow. My name is Nicol. I'll be leading you through about an hour of a dynamic flow. So it can be a little bit stronger. Please take breaks if you need to. And in regards to aids, I've got 2 blocks. However, you probably won't even need them. I'm using one just to have a bit of a seat with my hips a little bit higher than my knees. And it's just a little bit more comfortable. But please feel free to disregard any and just choose just to have your mat, and that's it. Let's start in a seat. So starting in a cross-legged seat, doesn't matter which shin's in front, and invitation to just close down the eyes. Starting to allow our breath to bring us here, bring us now. And just appreciating the environment, the wind through our hair, the smells, the sounds floating around. Hopefully you found some space that you're comfortable and safe in, and you won't be disturbed for the next little while until we're through. And you can keep the eyes closed or have a soft gaze or open them if you need to. But let's take a breath in and take the arms up towards the ceiling or the sky, the open sky. And as you exhale, take the left hand down to the left and take the right over. Let's bend over to the left. Find a stretch in that right side of the body. Stay for a breath in here. And a breath out. And then allow another breath to take your hands back up to the ceiling, the sky. And take the right hand down to the side. Take the left over. Another in to stay. And an X to stay. Inhale, take both hands up. And then take the right hand to the outside of the left shin. The left hand goes behind you as support. Take a breath in as you elongate the spine. And as you exhale, twist from the navel, maybe even looking over that left shoulder. Stay for the breath in. And the breath out. Another inhale takes both hands up to the ceiling. And go to the other side, taking the right hand behind you. And once again, take a breath in and out. Stay for the in. Stay for the out. Breath in, take the hands back up. And take them out in front of you. And we're just going to walk them forwards, allowing the chest to come down to the shins. Stay for the in here. And out. And slowly walking the hands back towards the shins. We're going to bring the hands in prayer and draw them into the heart center. This is where you might want to remove the block if you have it or the aid. And draw them in. And then start to lean back. As we lean back, let us take the feet up into the air, hover them, flip them around so that the other shin is in front. And bring them once again down. Take an inhale and take both hands up to the ceiling or sky. And as you exhale, let's find that twist once again, taking the left hand behind. Inhale for the breath in. And exhale, twist. Inhale, take both hands up to the ceiling. And move to the other side, taking the right hand behind. Inhale, take them back up. And bring them down out in front. Once again, finding that forward fold. And slowly walking the hands back in. I'm going to grab my feet to come into a tabletop, drawing them in and coming over my knees. However, if you just want to walk the feet around, please feel free to do that. Once you're in your tabletop, let's have the hands underneath the shoulders. Fingers are spread, and start to create little circles with the shoulders moving around in one direction. And changing the direction, moving the other way. And come to stillness. take your left hand and turn it around so the fingers are pointing back towards the knees. And then just move the hips back. So the toes are tucked and the knees are just underneath the hips. Let's move the hips back towards the heels, just finding a stretch in that left arm, left wrist. Keep your arm as straight as you can. If you want a little bit more, protract out through the shoulders and you'll find a little bit more stretch all up along the arm. And release, turn the hand around. Let's turn the right hand around so the fingers are pointing back towards the knees, and then slowly moving back. And once again, if you want more, releasing the shoulders up towards the ceiling or sky, finding a bit more stretch. And gently releasing. Let's place both hands down, one circle around in one direction. Complete the circle, and then moving the circle all the way around in the other direction. And then we're going to create figure eights. So moving in a direction chosen by you, allowing the hips to move all the way back as you go back, and the shoulders all the way forward as you come forward. Changing direction, going the other way. Maybe moving a little bit more organically if you choose. Finding space. And eventually coming back to your tabletop. Let's start with a few cat-cows. So breathing in, bringing your gaze up towards the ceiling, untucking the tailbone, allowing the belly to sink, open through the shoulders. Exhale. Can you tuck everything in, bring the chin in towards the chest? Inhale, open up. And exhale, close in. One more like that. Inhale, open. And exhale, tuck everything in. Come back to neutral. We're going to start off with the right knee and just lift it out to the side. So once you got it there, push through both hands, especially the right, to keep that knee in place. Pause. And keeping the knee bent, we're going to create little circles with that knee moving in one direction. See if you can keep these circles really, really big, moving into the whole joint in the hip. And changing direction, going the other way. Eventually coming back to that position, taking it out to the side. Just imagine we are marking our territory here on the mat. Pause, and then kick the leg out, coming to the blade of the foot. Walk the right hand slightly forward, plant it down, keep it stable, and then thread your left arm through and underneath, bringing the left ear down to the mat. Left shoulder touches, and you can choose to stay or maybe take that right hand a little bit forward, providing a little bit more support. Staying for 2. Staying for 1. Bring that right hand back. Draw the left hand back to the top. And then take your right leg, kick it out to the back, engaging the toes, flexing them down towards the floor. Pause. And then slowly drawing the foot down. I'm going to turn myself around so that my back is not to you. As you draw the foot down, we're going to come to the blade of the foot and kickstand out that left foot, taking the right hand up towards the ceiling. Push the hips forward. Pause here. And then slowly push through that left hand, coming up with the hands. Take an in-breath and take the hands up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, take the right hand down to the right shin. Take the left hand over, find your bend. Pausing here for 2. And 1. Take an inhale, take both hands back up to the ceiling. And as you take the left hand down, can you lift the right foot up, reaching forward with that right hand? Stay here for the inhale. We're here for 2. For 1. Can you take a deep breath in? As you exhale, take that right elbow to right knee. Just touch. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, bring it in. Now you've always got the option to stay stretched. Inhale. And bring it in the last time. Inhale, stretch, pushing the hips forward. And as you exhale, bring the foot down. Hand replaces down. And then just move the hips back and forward in your tabletop. Back and forward, back and forward. Moving on to the other side, we're going to take that left knee, kick it out to the side. Once again, marking our territory on this side of the mat. It's our mat. We're going to stay here. Keep that push through that left hand so it doesn't collapse. Pause. And then slowly toss to make those circles with the left knee moving in one direction. And then changing that, moving in the other. Eventually coming back to kicking it out to the side. And then we're going to straighten the leg, place the foot down, come to the blade of the foot. Left hand comes to the top left corner and the right arm reaches through, tucking it under, taking the right ear down, right shoulder, maybe stretching that left hand forward. We're only here for 2, for 1, and drawing that left hand back, pushing out through the left hand so that the right hand reaches down. Come back to your tabletop, but we're taking that left foot and kicking it out to the back. Toes are flexed, pointing down. Pause. And then bringing it down to the floor, taking that blade of the foot down and then kickstanding that right foot. Take the left hand up to the ceiling. Reach. Pause. Make sure you're pushing the hips forward. And then pushing through that right hand, we're going to raise up, taking the arms parallel. And then an inhale takes both hands up. Left hand comes down to left shin and bend to the left as you exhale. Stay for the in here. And stay for the X. Inhale, both hands reach for the ceiling. And the right hand comes down, reaching towards the front or top of the mat with the left hand. Stay here for 2. Or can you lift your left foot off the floor? For 1, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, draw the top knee to top elbow. Inhale, stretch it out. And exhale, bring it in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it in. Last time. Inhale, stretch. And as you exhale, bring the hand down and knee relaxes down. Once again, finding your tabletop. Move the hips back and forth, back and forth. Just releasing. And make sure the fingers are spread. We're going to push through the hands with the toes tucked. We're going to just hover the knees just off the mat. Now here you've got an option of really protracting out through the shoulders, so pushing them up towards the ceiling or sky. Pause here. Just staying for 2. Staying for 1, and then releasing the knees back down to the floor. Now we're going to be working with a particular muscle, the serratus anterior muscle, which is the muscle that connects the back in towards the ribs. And this muscle we really use or utilize to stabilize the body and strengthen it once you're in an arm balance. Hopefully I'm starting to get known for my arm balances. I love getting upside down. And this muscle you really need to activate in order to find a little bit more balance and strength when you're upside down. So the way we need to do that is we're not quite doing a cat-cow, but it's very similar movement. What we're going to do is dump into the shoulders, keeping the back nice and straight, and then push out through the shoulders. So you're really just dumping and pushing. And once you're pushing, so let's dump and push. Can you push the back all the way up, activating into the sides, and you may feel the muscles activating there. And then just once again release, come back to your normal tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, take a breath in. And as you exhale, can you lift the hips, finding your first downward dog. As it's the first, feel free to pedal the feet. Maybe move the hips from side to side. And eventually coming to find stillness in your downward dog. I'm going to pause here just for 2 breaths. And pause for 1. Allow an inhale to lift the heels, come really high into the toes. Exhale, release down. Inhale, come high onto the toes, and as you exhale, release down. Last one, come high into the toes with the inhale, and then take the left foot to the left edge of the mat, take the right in front of it, and then just walk tippy-toeing on the left edge of the mat all the way to the top of the mat. Once you're at the top, bring the feet in, take an inhale as you crawl the hands up the shins halfway, and as you exhale, release. Let's do that once again. Hands to shins, halfway. Breathe in. And exhale, release. Another long inhale as we uncurl the spine, taking the hands all the way up to the ceiling, also reaching for the sky. Bring the palms to meet heart center as you exhale. Inhale, take the hands up. And exhale, find a forward fold, bending from the hips. Halfway lift, inhale, hands to shins. And as you exhale, place the hands down, stay on the fingertips, and step the right foot to the back of the mat. Stay in your lunge, take an inhale, bring your gaze forward. And exhale, place the hands down, step back to plank. Take an inhale, draw the shoulders forward. And then as you exhale, drop the knees, bring the whole body to lie flat on the floor. Untuck the feet, baby cobra, just peeling the chest up. And as you exhale, release. Tuck the toes, inhale, come to the knees, and push through, finding downward dog, lifting the hips. Come high into the toes, breath in. Release, breath out. High into the toes, breath in. Release, breath out. High into the toes, breath in. And right foot steps to the right edge, left foot steps in front of it. Baby steps all the way on the right edge of the mat, all the way to the top. Come back to center, the top, hands climb up the shins, breath in, halfway. And release, breath out. Let's try that again, halfway lift, breath in. Release, breath out. Uncurling the spine, reaching for the sky, breath in. Palms meet, heart center as you exhale. Take the hands up once again. And fold forward as you exhale. Hands to shins, halfway, breath in. And hands come down, stepping back with the left foot to the back of the mat. We're staying on the fingertips, stay in your lunge, breath in, bring the gaze forward. And as you exhale, hands come down, stepping back with that right foot, plank. Pause here for the breath in. And lower the knees, keep bending the elbows, come all the way to lie flat on the floor, breath out. Untuck the feet, baby cobra, but this time with no hands. Peel the chest up. And as you exhale, release. One more like that. Let's practice warming up the spine. And exhale, release. Tuck the toes, breath in, come back to your tabletop. And as you exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Breath in as we lift the heels. Breath out, release. And breath in, lift the heels. Breath out, release. And breath in, release the heels up. And as you exhale, bring the knees down. And we're going to place them down onto the mat. Let's find tabletop. Now, with the serratus anterior, we warmed up with the knees down on the floor. So the next step is keeping the toes tucked and maybe hovering the knees. So similar movement, just dumping through the shoulders and pushing back. You can choose to keep the knees on the floor or following with me, raising the knees, being the next step up, and dumping. We'll just do 3 of these. 2 and 3. And take a breath in here. And exhale, stay. Another breath, lift the right foot all the way up to the ceiling, straightening through the left leg. Take that right knee to right elbow as you exhale. Inhale, take it all the way back up. And as you exhale, step it through right thumb. Crescent lunge, taking both hands up to the ceiling, breath in. And then cactus the arms and slowly lower that left knee down to the floor. Touch, lift it back up. Take an inhale, stretch the arms up. And as you exhale, frame that right foot. We're stepping back to plank with the inhale. Maybe no knees, chaturanga. Let's come halfway down. Bend through the elbows, keep them tucked in. Flip the feet, find your back bend. And as you exhale, release back, downward dog. Come high into the toes, breath in. Breath out, release. Breath in, come high. Breath out, release. Breath in, come high. And breath out, release. Last one, breath in, high. And then bring the knees down, hover them just off the floor. We're going to stay in our tabletop position. Take a breath in and take your right leg, kick it out to the back. Toes are flexed, pointing down to the floor. As you exhale, draw the knee back in. Inhale to the left foot, flexed all the way to the back of the room. and bring it back in. Take the right foot, straighten it out to the right hand side, just touch with the tippy toes, and then draw that knee back in. Take the left foot out to the left, touch, and draw it back in. Inhale here, and as you exhale, lift halfway, or let's come into like a turbo dog. And stay for the exhale. Inhale, lift that left foot all the way up the floor to the ceiling. Stretch it out, stretch through the right. And as you exhale, draw the left knee to left elbow, touch. Inhale, kick it all the way back up, straighten, three-legged. And as you exhale, step it through left thumb. Crescent lunge, taking both hands up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, cactus the arms and slowly bend down that right knee, touch. Slowly lift up, breath in, take the hands all the way up. And as you exhale, bring them down, frame that left foot. Step back to plank with the inhale. Chaturanga, come halfway down as you exhale. Push back up to plank, inhale, haha, got you. And as you exhale, slowly low down. Flip the feet, find your back bend. Downward dog as you exhale. Opportunity here to grab some water, maybe towel down if you need to. Bring the knees down, find child's pose, drawing the chest down to the floor, or stay in your downward dog. Maybe you want more, bring yourself down with the forearms, finding dolphin, walking the feet in. We're only here for 4. We're here for 3. Here for 2. And 1. Slowly making your way back to your downward dog wherever you are. Finding your dog. Let's take a breath in and lift the heels once again. Release the heels, breath out. Inhale, lift the heels. Release the heels, breath out. Inhale, raise with the heels. And as you exhale, draw the knees down just to hover off the floor. Inhale, kick the right foot back. Toes are flexed. And as you exhale, draw the knee back. Inhale, take the left foot back, kick. And draw it back, exhale. Inhale, take the right foot to the right, touch. And draw it back. Inhale, take the left foot to the left, touch. And draw it back. Stay for the inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, push up with the hips and take that right foot all the way up to the ceiling. As you exhale, open through the hip, open through the knee. Inhale, straighten and square the leg. As you exhale, draw that knee to the left elbow, touch. Inhale, take it back up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, step it through. Drop your left heel down, windmill the arms up, find your warrior 2. Pausing here, finding alignment, relax the shoulders. And then slowly start to reach forward, grab a piece of fruit, flip the palm, take it up to the ceiling as I inhale. And as you exhale, warrior 2 once again. Reach, flip, grab that fruit. Inhale, take the right arm up, straighten through the right leg. And as you exhale, Trikonasana triangle pose, taking the right hand down. Left hand reaches for the ceiling. Staying here for 2. And staying for 1. Reverse, swinging both arms all the way up. And as you exhale, bend through that right knee, swinging both arms down, framing that right foot, left heel rises. Take a step back with the right foot, plank, breath in. Come halfway down, chaturanga, breath out. Flip the feet, upward dog, downward dog, exhale. Come hands to the toes, breath in. Release, breath out. Hands to the toes, breath in. Release, breath out. Hands to the toes, breath in. And release the knees to just hover off the mat, breath out. Take the right foot, kick it out to the back, breath in. Kick it a little bit higher and bring the knee back in. Take the left foot out to the back. Can you kick it a little bit higher and draw it back in? Without touching the floor, we're kicking the right foot out to the right and draw it back in. Take the left foot out to the left and draw it back in. Take an inhale, take the right foot all the way up to the ceiling And draw it back in. Take an inhale, take the left foot up to the ceiling. Stretch. Bend through the knee and open the hip as you exhale. Inhale, straighten. And take that knee to the right elbow as you exhale. Inhale, take the foot all the way back up, three-legged. And as you exhale, step it through. Drop the right heel down. Windmill the arms up. Warrior two. Stay for the exhale. Maybe another in. Stabilize. Reach forward. Flip the palm. Grab your fruit. Reverse. Inhale. And as you exhale, once again, find warrior two. Reach. Flip. Grab your fruit. Reverse. Straightening through that left leg. And as you exhale, windmill the arms down. Reaching forward. Finding Trikonasana. Triangle pose. So right arm up, left hand down. Stay for two. Stay for one. We're going to windmill the arms back, reversing. And then starting to bend through that left knee, windmill the arms back down to the mat, frame that left foot. Take the right heel up. Take a step back with the left foot, plank on the inhale. Halfway down, chaturanga, exhale. Flip the feet, find your back bend. Downward dog, exhale. Lift the heels, inhale. Release, exhale. Inhale, release the heels up. Down, exhale. Last time, inhale up. And draw the knees down to hover as you exhale. Pausing here, in. And out. And then slowly drawing the knees down to the floor. Find your tabletop. Now with our serratus interior, we've done two. So we can stay with the knees on the floor. We can keep the toes tucked and hover the knees just off the floor. Or the third one, we can stretch the feet out, finding plank. And with the same motion, dumping the shoulders and pushing them out. So finding three of those, choosing your option. Either knees on the floor, knees hovering, or legs straight. Just dumping. 2 and 1. And coming back with the knees just hovering off the floor into your tabletop. Inhale, kick the right foot to the back. And exhale, draw it in. Inhale, kick the left foot out. And draw it in. Take the right foot to the right. Keep it hovering off the floor, point the toes. And draw it in. Take the left foot to the left, hover. And draw it in. Inhale, take the right foot all the way up to the ceiling, three-legged. As you exhale, bend through the knee, open the hip. Inhale, square and straighten the leg. Exhale, take that right knee to right elbow. Bend through the arms. Vinyasa option, taking the left foot up. Left foot comes down. Right foot reaches, breath in. And as you exhale, step it through. Take the hands up to the ceiling, breath in. As you exhale, cactus the arms, bending through that back knee. Touch. Inhale, straighten the arms, reach. Drop the left heel down, warrior two as you exhale. Reach for the front of the room, flip the palm, grab your fruit. Inhale, take the right arm up. Warrior two as you exhale. Reach, flip, reach it up as you inhale, straightening through the right leg, maybe lifting the toes. And as you exhale, Trikonasana, toes come down, right hand down, left hand up. Stay for 2. Stay for 1. And then slowly allow your left hand to come down to the left hip. We're going to bend through that right knee, bring our weight to the right foot, come into half moon. Option to stay here, releasing the right hand to the floor, maybe taking the left hand up. Option to stay there, or maybe taking the right hand up, floating it to prayer. Option to take that left hand, internally rotate the shoulder, half bind, and then bending through that left knee. You can take the foot, top foot with your right hand, and open out the hip. Staying just for another 2. Another 1, and slowly releasing everything down. Find a forward fold. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Releasing as you forward fold, exhale. Toe heel the feet out to the edges of the mat. Bring the toes out 45 and then drop the hips. Find your yogic squat. In your yogic squat, have your palms meeting. And you can stay here. Or you can take the right hand down. As you inhale, take the left hand up to the ceiling. Bring it back down. Replace. Take the right hand up in. And bring it down as you exhale. Bring the hands down, push from the ground, lift the hips, toe heel the feet in, come back to your forward fold. Find your big toes with your peace fingers, so your feet are about hip width apart, Padagustasana. Let's take a breath in, a baby halfway lift, and as you exhale, draw the shoulders down, chest to thighs, releasing the head and the neck, pausing for 2, and pausing for 1, and gently releasing. Let's toe heel the feet in so the toes are touching. You've got a slight gap in the heels. Bend through the knees, swing the arms up, find Utkatasana. Pausing here for 2. For 1, can you lift yourself onto your tippy toes? And then drinking bird, swinging the arms all the way down, working to straighten through the legs as you bring the chest in and the arms go all the way back. Staying for 2, for 1, heels drop, take those arms swinging up towards the ceiling, straighten the body, allow the palms to meet at the top, heart center as you exhale. Inhale, take the arms up, find a forward fold as you exhale, halfway lift in, your flow to downward dog, so whatever that looks like, choose to jump back, but land in a low plank if you do. Choose to walk yourself back, however you choose. Let's find ourselves back in our downward dog. Allow the heels to rise with the inhale and to release down on the exhale. Come to the tippy toes in, release as you exhale. Inhale, take them up. And then bend through the knees, come to your hovering tabletop, breath out. Inhale, take the left foot all the way to the ceiling, stretching through the right leg. As you exhale, open out the hips, bend through the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg, square the hip. And as you exhale, take that left knee to left elbow. Vinyasa, an option. We're here for 2 breaths. Bend through the arms, maybe lifting that right foot. Take the right foot down, left foot reaches to the ceiling, breath in. And as you exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge, taking both hands up to the ceiling. Cactus the arms, dropping through that right knee. Touch. Lift the knee, stretch the arms up. Drop the right heel. Warrior 2 as you exhale. Reach for the fruit. Flip the palm. Take the left arm to the ceiling. Reverse. And as you exhale, bring it back down. Warrior 2. Reach. Reverse. Grab the fruit. Stretch it up to the ceiling as you straighten through that left leg. And then as you swing the arms down, find Trikonasana, triangle pose. Pausing for 2. Pausing for 1. Allow the right hands to come down to the right hip. Bend through the left knee. As we bring our weight forward, half moon an option. Taking the left hand down, right foot rises. Option to stay here or take that right hand, stretch it up to the ceiling. Take the left hand into prayer, maybe even internally rotate that right hand, half bind, bending through that top knee, maybe grabbing the foot. Only here for 2, for 1, and slowly releasing, lowering everything down to the floor. Halfway lift, breath in. Find your forward fold as you breathe out. Toe heel the feet out. Turn them 45 and then drop the hips. Once again, find your yogic squat, Malasana. Option to stay here, or you can sit a little bit higher in your squat. You can choose to stay, or maybe find that bind, taking the left arm up, rotating the shoulder, taking around the back and binding. Make sure you do both sides. Just hold for 2 breaths. Option also to take the hands down out in front, just hands wider than shoulder width. Knees to elbows, lifting up into your crow. Stay there for 2. And if you have a jump back, jumping back and flowing through your final flow, eventually coming to your downward dog. And once you've found your dog, let's bring the knees down, and we're going to stretch out the legs out in front of us, coming to Dandasana. So stretching the legs, flexing the feet, breath in to reach up to the ceiling, and as you exhale, draw the hands down, grab your ankles, your feet, your toes, wherever is available, maybe even bending through the knees so you find a little bit more depth. And then gently releasing, drawing yourself back up to Tandasana. We're going to bring the palms to meet into the heart center, and then just shuffle yourself forward so that your legs start to bend. Bring the soles of the feet down and lean back. Once you do that, find the feet start to become lighter and lighter, maybe even hovering just off the floor. Once they do that, pause, stay, really engage your core. Let's stretch out the right leg, engage the toes so they point up to the ceiling, and then take the knee back in. Stretch out the left leg, engage the toes, and bring the knee back in. Stretch out the right leg, engage the toes, but this time let's bring the heel, let's just touch the floor, bring it back up, and bring the knee back in. Stretch out the left, engage the toes, heel down, touch, and bring the knee back in. Stretch out the right, lift the foot while you engage the toes, and then slowly bring it down, touch the floor, bring the knee back in. Take the left leg out, reach it up as high as you can, and bring it down, touch the floor, and bring the knee back in. Pause. And then take your hands out to the side. Let's find boat, lifting the shins up, maybe even pointing the toes. We're here for 3. Here for 2. Your hip flexors should be talking to you now. And for 1, can you find your version of boat, whether that's legs straight, maybe hands up to the ceiling, and then eventually rolling back onto your back, bring the knees into the chest. Maybe a roll of the knees from side to side feels nice. We're just massaging the spine. And then release the knees as you open them out. Let's grab the blades of the feet, coming into happy baby. We're trying to normalize the spine, so we're trying to draw it down. We're trying to release the tailbone down as close to the mat as we can, so we find length in the spine by drawing the knees down. If you find that your hips are creating a boat shape with the body, maybe releasing the feet and grabbing just the shins. That might find a little bit more space. Otherwise, we're going to release the right leg, stretch it out to the ceiling, and then take it out to the back, stretch it down, maybe touch the mat with the heel, and then take it back up to the ceiling, take it out to the right, take it back up to the ceiling, and then bend through the knee, grab the blade once again. Release the left, stretch it up, stretch the foot down to the mat, touch, take it up back to the ceiling, and take it out to the left. Take it back up to the ceiling, and bend through the knee. Pause. And then releasing the feet. I'm going to draw the knees, give yourself a hug, drawing the knees all the way in. And releasing. We're going to stretch the legs out, coming to lie flat on the floor. Take your arms out to the top of the mat so you're stretched and becoming really long. And then take the feet out to the right-hand side. Hands out to the right-hand side, maybe in a bit of the torso. Feel free to grab the left wrist with the right hand, keeping both hips connected to the floor, so the hips are square. Maybe the left ankle on top of the right. Finding your banana asana. Pause here. And slowly releasing, Moving on to the other side, taking the feet over to the left, hands over to the left, keeping the hips connected. Grab your right wrist, maybe take the right ankle on top of the left. And slowly releasing, coming back to lying flat on the floor. Bring your right knee into the chest, draw it in, interlace the fingers behind the knee, draw that knee all the way into the right armpit. Pause, hold, and then gently releasing that right hand down to the floor, bring the palm to face down, and then slowly taking that right knee over the leg, finding your supine twist. What we want to watch out here for is that right shoulder lifting off the floor. If you have it all in control, turning your head gently to the opposite side of the knees, maybe even shutting down the eyes. And slowly releasing, bringing both knees into the chest. Give yourself a bit of a hug. Maybe even bring the knees all the way in, give them a kiss. And releasing the legs down onto the floor. I'm going to take the other side, so taking that left knee into the chest, interlace the fingers around the knee. Draw the knee all the way into the armpit. Pause here. And then releasing that left hand out to the side, palm facing down. Let's take that knee over the leg. Find your twist. Taking the left knee over the right leg. Once again, watching those shoulders, make sure they don't rise. And maybe turning the head to the opposite side of the knees. And slowly lifting back, bringing both knees once again back into the chest. Let's give it a little round circle with the knees in one direction and moving in the other direction. Yogi's choice of an inversion. We can straighten the legs up towards the ceiling, finding Viparita Karani with the hands underneath as support, maybe even a block. It feels nice just to keep the hips a little bit more neutral. Choice for shoulder stand, rolling the hips up, supporting them, kicking the legs up to the ceiling. Or choosing to be a little bit more relaxed, finding Supta Baddha Konasana, widening the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, the hands either chest and belly or just at the side. So choosing your option. We're only here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. If you're in shoulder stand, releasing the feet behind the head, find plow, and then start to bend through the knees, draw them into the shoulders, and as you do, roll the hips back down, lying flat. If you chose to do an inversion, let's find fish pose just for a few breaths. So take the hands with the palms facing down, sitting on them, so take them underneath the glutes, and then walk the elbows in, and as you do, lift the chest up, allow the head to drop. Option to stay here or maybe even lifting the feet off the floor. Staying just for 2. And releasing the feet down if you raise them. Slowly lowering the back down to the floor. Walking the elbows out, releasing the hands. And coming to your Shavasana. Please make use of the space, taking the feet out to the edges of the mat. Allow the feet to flop open. Hands are at the side, palms facing the ceiling. You can choose to stay here, or if you chose Supta Baddha Konasana before, stay there if that's more comfortable. And just starting to once again pay attention to the breath as it's moving in and out of the body. Please feel free to relax. I will let you know when it's time to come out. I haven't forgotten you. I am still here. As you slowly come back to your mat, let's start with the head, turning it gently from left to right. As we wake up the spine, bring some movement back into your fingertips and your toes. Take your arms up behind your head as you stretch. Maybe take a deep breath in. And with the exhale, maybe wrapping yourself around, taking the knees into the chest. Maybe a slight sway left and right with the knees before you settle them, taking them down to one side. And then slowly making your way up into a seat. Let's keep the eyes closed and find a comfortable seat. I've got one more surprise for you, and that's a pranayama, just to bring ourselves a little bit more equilibrium, balancing out the left and right hemispheres of the brain. So alternate nostril breath is available. I usually choose, because I'm right-handed, I use my right hand. So what I do is I put my first finger and third onto my forehead, or third eye. I use my thumb to block the right nostril, and I use my ring finger, the fourth one, to block the left nostril. So you can choose to do that with the left hand or choose alternate fingers. We're going to start by blocking off the right nostril and breathing in through just the left nostril for the count of 4. The count of 3, 2, 1. Block the left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril for the count of 4. 3, 2, 1. Stay with the left nostril blocked and breathe in once again through the same nostril, the right, for 4. 3, 2, 1. Then block the right nostril and breathe out through the left nostril for 4. 3, 2, 1. So that's one cycle. Let's move through another 5 cycles in your own breath, choosing your speed, making sure that you are fully releasing the breath, maybe even changing the numbers around, either 3 or 5 breaths in, if that suits you better. Completing 5. Once you've completed your 5, bring your hands down to your knees. Just pausing for a moment while you allow that to sink in. And an invitation to bring the palms to meet and draw them into the heart center. And to complete the practice with our hearts, we feel words of love, peace, and gratefulness. Take the hands to our mouths. With our lips, we speak words of love, peace, and gratefulness. Lastly, taking the hands up to the forehead, a slight bow of the head. With our minds, we think words of love, peace, and gratefulness. Take a deep breath in through the nose, fill the lungs. Long breath out through the mouth, releasing. Namaste.